And someone's having fun with the screen. Next voice actor I'd like to call up is also a personal friend of mine. He voiced Bear Bird on My Little Pony, Michael Dangerfield. Next, I would like to also invite up another member of the Apple family of Apple Bloom. Also does the singing voice of Sweetie Belle, Michelle Creever.
How are you all today?
Next person I'll quickly invite up is her cohort for all of her panels and autograph sessions as well. One hell of a musician, Black Griffin.
Oh yes, my name is Black Griffin. No, it's not really. It's not the name my mom gave me, but I made it up. If I'd have known that that name was gonna get kind of popular, I probably would have chosen something else. Yo.
Just so you know, these mics are super hot. Maybe we should just break them down.
It'll be
Excellent. Then it befits me.
Next person I'd like to invite up has also sung for the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show. Her choir was actually the one that did at the gala. Monique Creever, please.
Hi everyone. Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
She ran away.
Well,
Hi.
It's
How
like
you
the sound of
doing?
music when they call the
Hello.
box.
is she on this panel?
Nothing happened?
I thought she knew.
No. Well, I don't think she.
Okay.
There is another person on the panel.
Yes, there is one
I can
person.
text you
Yes.
again.
Yeah,
again.
just
The,
text her.
the next person I'd like to invite up, I don't care what the fans say about his last character on Equestria Girls. One hell of a character, Flash Sentry, played by Vincent Tong.
This mic's really hot.
He had beans for breakfast.
Beans, soup, eggs.
I don't like beans.
But no, this panel's pretty much about you guys, so if you guys want to do a Q&A, do you want to do
Hey, my first question is for Andrea.
Andrea.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, come on!
Vincent, how was your hair so fantastic?
Oh, my hair is. Oh, I had somebody asked me. It was Tony. Is he here? Tony. Tony asked me about my hair and how I got it so nicely coiffed. And I was like, man, I'm sharing like hair tips at a PonyCon. Love this. But I will shout out to whoever wants some cool hair. Use some Japanese stuff. It's called Gatsby. Check it out. It's really expensive. It's like $13 a bottle. But it's like, get the pink stuff. You kind of like rub it in and go whoosh, 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 and you like keep it on. You got cool hair.
Yeah.
You have to do your own sound effects.
How long does it take you?
Usually around 10 seconds. Yeah, you don't. 10 seconds in a flash. Goodness, the wheels are turning today. I know. All right. Something about American. What do you mean? What's that? Oh, that's weird. I don't know what that movie is. Picture time. All right. Questions.
So Vincent, are you moderating or how do you want to do
Looks like
this?
you're trying to leave again.
I know. Where are you
That's what
going?
you did
No,
to me.
my throat is
don't go.
sore from doing the whose line is it? Whose line is it anyway?
You didn't have to do that.
No, unfortunately, doing low sound effects and
Can you
voices.
do one sound effect for us right now?
That's
Hey!
That's easy for me to
Pretty
do.
good.
That's his evil laugh, ladies and gentlemen.
No, emails.
That's his adorable.
Oh.
That's good. All right. Do we have any questions out there?
So, guess who has questions? I will come to you, raise your hand, and I'll come to you so you can actually be heard on
Like the bare
To
necessities
be like
of life.
Oprah.
Will Derpy be added to the main cast 6?
Then it wouldn't be the 6, it'd be the 7.
Yeah.
7 is a lucky number. If they added any character to the main 7, it would probably be...
Flash Sentry.
Hey!
I mean, that's kind of obvious.
I'd catch all the tomatoes coming at me.
Yeah. Hey, Twilight. I
Spike
got
is
this for you.
disappointed in your mention of just the 6.
What was that?
Spike is disappointed in your mention of just the 6.
Oh.
He's not a pony.
He does!
No, wait, dragons don't have feelings. I can say stuff like this. It still feels wrong to say stuff like this.
Daniel Sonic.
We're gonna fight going here! I'm being a bit speciesist, I think.
No, it won't just.
How's the ATM, ladies? Good. I saw them at the ATM. I was like, you guys are dressed well.
Funny pickup line. I never heard that one.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
How's the ATM,
How
yo?
you doing?
You like going to that
Girl, your
ATM?
head is ridiculous.
I want to make a
My
withdrawal.
name is
Can I have your
Cash,
number? Can I have it? Can I have it?
Can I
Can I have it?
At the ATM. I gotta make a withdrawal. I'm gonna make a deposit.
So since there aren't any questions with hands up, and Vince, I know I asked you this question during your first panel yesterday, but since there's more people in here, I want to ask you again in front of everyone.
Okay.
Because we also talked about this Friday night that you brought up the photo of Vincent Tong, the voice of all of the douchebags on My Little Pony, and it had all your characters.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What do you have to say about that one?
I forgot what I said yesterday about it, but I'll have a fresh new reaction right now. Yeah, it was funny. I was just, because I was going to my first PonyCon. Was that funny already? To my first PonyCon in Richmond at BronyCan, and I was looking at Flash Sentry just because I wanted to see what the fans kind of thought of my character, and then they did not like it. So there was this photo. I don't know if you could probably Google and find it, but there's like a photo of me like this with a really weird, goofy hat and all my characters of MLP. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. I really don't.
It's kind of mean for someone to do that.
It is kind of mean, but it's sort of like.
That's not going to make you feel very good.
I guess so. Yeah, it's putting out a bit of a negative vibe out there.
You're just
but
trying
that's
to do some work
It's
and
true.
be a part of a show.
It's true.
and-
But then it's up to me to take that and deal with it in a certain way. I could get angry at it, or I can just go, you know what? Ain't no thing. I don't feel that stuff.
There you go.
You know?
See?
Let the haters hate.
You deal with it like
Spread
that.
the love, baby. Spread the love. It's all good.
So if you get lemons, you make.
I make some cranberry. It's not amazing. Yeah, man. Squeeze it so hard it turns into cranberries. They're like, where did the lemon go? No, just cranberries. Amazing. How'd you do that? The magic? Love.
Next question I'll ask. I'm just going to keep asking these guys questions until you guys have some. So put up your hand if you want to
Raise
ask
your
any
hand
questions.
to ask a question.
Raise your hands up!
Put your hands on the yo-yo.
I have 2 questions. Will Flash Sentry and Twilight Sparkle be together and married?
Oh.
And will Flutterbat ever going to return?
Well, I think I have the answer for the first one. I have no idea. Would you like that? Would you like Flash and Twilight to be married? Eh. Well, yeah, it would be a nice wedding. I have no idea. That's true. That's true. I have no idea. I mean, it's up to the writers to see what they want, and even if the fans like it or not, they don't really care. The writers are just crazy.
Will Flutterbat return?
Well, they kind of hinted at that at the end of the episode. Okay, it was kind of a little sneaky bat tooth. So you never know. You never know. Uh-oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, how's it going? I know you guys can't really reveal specifics. Are we seeing any new characters added this year? Maybe that have been alluded to before, or any fan favorites that are getting a larger part? Are we going to see that?
Skedaddle?
Oh yeah.
You know what? You know what? There's a lot going on, and I think you're gonna like it.
I know you.
Oh, we have a question over there.
We do. Thank you. I'll go first. Okay.
So, for those of you who play more than one character, do you have any bias towards one character, or do you love them all equally?
Equal. Yes.
She's also a politician. She's running for the mayor of Vancouver.
No, I mean between the two main ones, you can't choose. They're both awesome. Aww.
I was going to say, Vince, how about you, since you've voiced multiple characters?
I just hope some characters come back. I mean, I think Donut Joe came back twice. Pony Joe, and then Flash. I wonder if Flash is going to be in the next movie. I wonder.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's all I gotta say.
I played a character, what was the...
Oh yeah.
Antique chicken... Wait. Anyways, I still prefer Braver to the other one that I did play. So that's what I'm telling you.
I was wondering, Michelle, could you try and do an impression of Pinkie Pie? And Andrea, could you try and do an impression of Apple Blue?
Okay.
Whoa.
Apples. Fun.
Adelia.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think Pinkie loves partying?
500 billion?
1,000 million!
Okay, this is for Andrea. My question is, how did it feel to be with, work with Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah, it was awesome. Working with Weird Al was really cool. He actually wasn't in the same room as us, but he was patched in. So he was in LA, but we could hear each other. And he was awesome to work with, just super professional, really talented, really great to play off of. I think it turned out really well, and even though he wasn't there that day, he actually came up to Vancouver a couple weeks later to do a show, and he gave us tickets. We got to meet him backstage, and it was awesome. It was really cool because it's a huge difference. Like, has anyone here seen him perform? Yeah, he's an incredible performer. He's just so wacky, and he's got all these acts and dancers, and his face is just, so much energy and just the expressions on his face, and he's just really, really, really talented in his costumes and everything. But he's just working with him on the show was not like that at all, because I guess for one I couldn't see him, but two he was just yeah, sure, yeah, I'll try that. Like, just so professional and not goofing around at all. So yeah, it's a really cool experience. Do you guys like that episode? Awesome.
Yeah, just extending off of that, I looked through the credits as hard as I could, but I'm still not sure, like, did Weird Al actually do any of the writing musically for that?
No,
Not
he
at
didn't.
all, really?
No.
Wow.
Did he play his own accordion?
He did. I mean, he did the performing, but he didn't write.
Yeah, because it sounds a lot like one of the regular song.
Yeah. It was just in the style, like they knew it was Weird Al, so they incorporated. Yeah, they incorporated.
Hi, cool.
I have a question for Andrea, and it's kind of interesting, as I believe on the Equestria Games or the previous episode, you had voiced Fleetfoot. How was that for you?
That was awesome because I got to be a Wonderbolt, which is what I always wanted. Fluttershy can fly, but she's so slow.
My question's for the multiple voice actors. Is any of the voices harder to do than other ones? Like harder on you, or takes longer?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'll speak first, I guess. We were just talking about that the first night that we got here, and how this one show called Packages from Planet X really thrashed my voice, because it was each episode, which is a 22-minute cartoon, but we do 2 different shows, so there's an A and a B. And every episode, Dan Zambrowski, the character I voiced, he would just be like, you know, receive a package, and then he would get zapped by lightning, and then fall off a cliff, and every time he was like getting just thrashed.
They really do that to Vincent.
They do.
He's in the studio.
They throw me off a cliff. It's crazy. But I get back up. I'm like. But yeah, it's very vocally tiring doing a lot of voices like that, and then having to switch. I did this other cartoon sometimes in the morning it would be Packages, and then Lolly Rock at night, and it'd be like a deeper kind of voice like that, and it would just really strain up your vocal cords. So we were talking about, you know, having to warm up and doing vocal exercises like a singer would, and that's, you know, it's just like working on your muscles. You don't just like go and blast like crazy 200 pounds on bench press, or if you guys do that stuff. I don't do that stuff, but yeah, it's just like warming up is very important to vocal health. For vocal health, How are you guys? Same.
It's just, I find, for me, I just sort of know what my range is in terms of like, I can't do the deep kind of monstery voices and sustain that, so I just really do try to stay away from doing that, because then it just totally burns me out. But the rest is pretty okay, and as long as I'm warmed up and respecting my breathing and everything else, then it seems to be okay.
One thing that I'm still trying to figure out, I guess, is sometimes I'll do an audition where I will do a really deep voice because I'm like in my prime state for, maybe it's early in the morning, it's easier to do a deep voice in the early morning. But then if I actually book it, then I have to do that, and I'll be like, can you
book me at 5:30 in the morning for this? Because that's
so
probably best.
you gotta audition within your, knowing you can do that voice at any time. Yeah, something sustainable.
Or when you get a cold and then let you audition with the cold.
Yes.
And then you
That sounds perfect.
Oh my God, I have an episode coming up. I have to get a cold. Let me lick the floor and go out with no clothes on and in the rain.
I do that anyway.
That's just every Friday for you.
I just have a question, you guys, for everybody over there. Do you guys have any voice actors you guys look up to, or want to work with, or want to meet?
Well, there's a documentary. Do you guys see this documentary? Like, I Know That Voice. Have you guys heard of this documentary? It's about a lot of the LA voice actor scene that, and definitely there's, I don't know, I mean, probably say most of the people in that documentary I certainly look up to, because there's some of the best in the world, like Maurice LaMarche or Rob Paulson and people like that, and Tom Kenny, and that are just masters. And what I love about like a guy like Tom Kenny, I mean, he's like 50 years old and he's still trying to get better and still hustling and working hard, and just a lot of them are really humble and treat it like it's, you know, they really respect the art of voice acting, and so I kind of look up to them and for that. It's really cool.
I'm on this new show with the Cartoon Network called Exchange Student Zero, and I was really excited to get this show because the director is Charlie Adler, and he's a guy that has done so many cartoons, that I grew up watching, and directed and starred in the Rugrats movies, and he's the voice of Starscream in the Transformer movies. And so to have him like direct us was amazing. He's a lunatic. He's like down in LA screaming at us all this profanity. It's crazy. And then he came up one week to Vancouver to record us, and I was actually really nervous because he was writing me the first few episodes, and I was getting like, I was just really scared I was going to lose my job. But he turned out to be a great guy. He used to do theater as well, so we kind of like chatted about theater for a long time, and we did gymnastics. We talked about gymnastics. It was just a really cool thing to be like hanging out with someone that you look up to their work, and they end up being a really cool person as well. So yeah, that was it for me.
I really look up to, I know this is corny, but I really look up to the people that I work with in Vancouver, like people here. Well, it's true. I mean, the talent in Vancouver is, in my opinion, extraordinary, and I feel so lucky that the people I work with every day are always inspiring me and wowing me and are so fun to be around and are great people. That's the best part of the job for me, and every time you're in, you're like, wow, I didn't know you could do that voice, that's crazy. And so to me, it's the people I work with all the time, those are my heroes. You guys are my heroes.
I started the show when I was 9, and I was really nervous the first episode of My Little Pony, because it was a big episode for me. I had, those big paragraphs, like, keeps in the air, all that. And I went in there, and they were all so good, and they were so nice, too. So I was like, I was scared, because I didn't want to mess up and stuff. And so I've grown up with them, and they've kind of brought me along with them on, like, as I get older, I'm kind of progressing with them in the studio, and they've helped me get better, and it's great. They're my mentors, kind of, like people like Andrea and Tabitha and Kathy and Nicole, everyone like that. So
Hey. I know that from yesterday you guys kind of explained that the writers kind of have their own little cave and you don't really interact with them, but I was kind of wondering if you ever see or interact with any of the animators.
Yeah. We've met the animators. Sometimes we'll go up, because they're right above us, right where like our studio is. So I've gone up there quite a few times and talk to them and check out what they're doing and stuff, and they're awesome. They're just always working hard up there. It's really cool to see them in action. They've got their big boards, and they've got like pictures everywhere of all your characters, like with different emotions and like different poses and stuff. It's really cool. Like they've got pictures everywhere. It's awesome.
I guess I'm actually fans of some of the stuff that Stephanie brings out.
Yeah. We talked to them, and yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about that's happened with My Little Pony, for Michelle anyway, I don't know about you guys, but it's the first time of all the projects that she's worked on, because of the fandom and because of conventions and the activities surrounding the show. It's the first time that we actually have gotten to meet all the different departments that put the show together, because I don't think on any other show that you've been on that we've got an opportunity to meet the writers, the animators, the people. It's just usually you go in and do your session, and then if you're lucky, you get to see the results on TV or YouTube or at some point. But this is the first time, and even the other voice actors, just getting to travel with everybody and interacting in ways outside of the studio has really created a more of a family atmosphere, I think, because we're on the team.
It's one of the only shows that I've worked on that has people from the animation team at the voice records. And I think that makes a really big difference, because a lot of times you're just guessing because there's nobody there. It's just the voice director, maybe the producers, and we don't know what this character looks like, so we're just gonna guess. We're gonna make him fat sounding. But then it turns out to be a skinny guy, and you don't know, but that doesn't happen on My Little Pony, because they're there, and you say, what does this guy look like? And he's like, well, it's a skinny guy. He has to sound skinny.
All right.
It's better for the collaborative
Yes.
process.
Yeah.
It's better for that collaborative process to work with everybody. The more communication we have with them, the better. Right? We feed on them.
Andrea, in Party of One, where Pinkie Pie goes kind of crazy, when she voices the inanimate objects, was that you or was that someone else?
That was me.
Definitely.
Are you talking to me?
What was the French one? What is that, the flower?
That is correct, madame.
If Pinkie Pie had to choose between her friends and a party, which one do you think she would choose?
She could only choose one? She'd choose you.
president of the world.
Does anyone have a baby she can kiss? Is there any babies
Come on,
in
right
the
up
room
here.
that she can kiss?
I'll kiss the top of your head, it's the same thing.
So, you guys are kind of a family. Are there any sibling rivalries or punking that goes on between you guys?
A lot of stuff goes on between me and Peter New. I always say that Peter is like my uncle. Because we always had the same, I usually explain this at every convention because people ask that kind of question. We had this character called Lord Pilo, and he was a hippo, and he was like this king of his kingdom and like the world and stuff a long time ago. So every convention we've ever been to, like together. If like we're signing autographs or something and there's no one in our lineup and we're just taking pens and we'll write the stupidest, randomest things like poetry or backstories or like anything about Lord Pilo. And I have like paper airplanes, napkins. I have a whole stack of these stupid little things. Some of them just say like he was a fruit. That's how stupid it gets. So yeah.
Peter New gets me. He's a strange guy, and he embraces it, which I love. But not when you're recording, because when I did Equestria Girls, it was just the guys. I didn't see you girls in the record, and it was me, Peter New, Richard Ian Cox, and Lee Tokar, who do Snips and Snails. And I was, there's a new character, Flash. I was trying to discover who he was, and they're like, he's a really cool guy. So I'm trying to sound as cool as I can, and like, trying to ask Twilight to the dance, and then Peter New and everyone's like, oh, look at Vincent, he's so cool, he's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, guys. And then turns out, okay, guys, let's go, we're recording. And then Peter would stand right beside me and go.
It was so hard.
It was so difficult to record because I'd be cracking up. Richard and them are like, he's like, and he's just like. Looking at me, it's terrible. So don't record with that guy.
For those of you who do two characters, what do you do when they talk at the same time?
Good question.
If they talk at the exact same time, so what happens most of the time is the main six will have some sort of a reaction. So we do two passes, and the first pass is Rarity, Fluttershy, and Applejack. So me, Ashley, and Tabitha, so we do one, and then we do another one, and Ashley and I go again, and then it's Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. So we always just do it twice, and then after that, the engineers can take that and make sure that they happen at the same time.
All right, I got a question for Andrea that I wanted to ask for a long time, and also one for Michelle. Andrea, ever since Keep Calm and Flutter On, well, since Fluttershy had since Discord is now Fluttershy's friend, how are you and John Delancey like closer friends after that episode?
Well, unfortunately, we don't record together. We're not in the same cities because he's in LA. And he doesn't patch in either. He does it on his own, so we don't interact as well. But I have met him quite a few times now, and he's a really great guy. He is. He's really nice. He's really, really nice. Yeah.
And Michelle, how did you meet Black Griffin anyway?
Mom, do you want to explain this story because you're better at it?
Oh, sure. So Michelle does a weekly radio show on Everfree Network that she's been doing for a couple of years, and the host of that show, Final Draft, kept telling, we were working on some collaborations with the fandom, and the host of that show kept telling me that I should go and check out this Black Griffin guy, that he was really talented, etc. But I was inundated with people asking me to check out all sorts of things and was super busy, so I kept not getting around to it. And finally, he brought him into a Skype chat that we were doing after the show, and that inspired me, after talking to him, it inspired me to go and check out some of the links that they had sent me. And once I saw the links, then I realized that he was extremely talented, and Everfree invited us to do a collaboration for 80s Week on their show, I guess just over a year ago. And we decided to do Beat It, and Gabe arranged it and recorded his vocals in Japan, where he was stationed with the Navy. And Michelle, we produced her stuff in Vancouver, put it together and released that, and that was a big success. And it's carried on. We did a tweeted parody from it, and Animated James just did the PMV. I don't know if you've seen it. Hey, Vincent should watch it. His character's in the end.
I heard. I'm not watching
And we met last summer at BronyCon. Gabe flew from Australia, and we came from Vancouver and did a show, and then we've been touring and writing and performing ever since. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the short version. You want to hear the just kidding.
My question is for Andrea. I've always just wanted to know what your thoughts are on Angel Bunny.
Yeah. Oh man.
Wow.
Kind of a brat.
Yeah, she's.
What do you? Yeah.
Oh, he rather.
Yeah.
He? Yes.
He's a spoiled bunny. Yeah. Yeah. He's funny.
It's like the bunny in Monty Python.
Yeah.
My question is for Vincent Tong in regard to his response to that previous question.
Yes, sir.
What is your feelings about such a large portion of the Brony fandom not actually liking Flash Sentry?
It's weird. At first I was really disappointed because I was, I did a lot of research on you guys, on the Brony fandom, and I was like, this is such a cool thing. And talking to Dusty Cat and Screwball on his program was such a fun thing, and I really was embracing it. And then, because I was being interviewed for, I think, just my other roles on the show at the time, and then Flash Sentry came, I'm like, all right, this is a big part, and this is gonna like get me in there, and I get to meet some people, and it was like, in your face, Vince. But it's all right, man, because I'm here, I'm here. I was in BronyCan last year, and then I'm going to Fiesta Equestria next week, so I think, let the haters hate, that's too much energy to give a response to those guys, and I just want to embrace the positivity that you guys kind of represent.
Honestly, I don't know that anyone actually hates Flash. I don't know.
It's just a joke, right?
It's a joke,
It's like how people say that they hate
the comments on the video are actually mostly defending Shining Armor. Yeah, they are actually very positive.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think most of it's a joke because, like I said, even in the Bronies React stuff.
Right. I think what it is most of them are just jealous.
They're just jealous.
Did you get to dance with Twilight?
Stole their waifu. It was a beautiful dance.
There you go.
It was a beautiful dance.
He's more carefully using a lot of them hate Treasure Hope. He's threatening possession of their waifus.
Why did you call Sweet Bill Sweet Bill?
What was that?
Why is Sweetie Belle called Sweetie Belle?
Oh.
The writers decide that, I think. Don't
Yeah.
they?
I think it's because she's such a sweet belle.
It's a good answer. Good answer.
What do you think?
Yes.
Well, I think that she's really sweet and they want her name to match her character.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bell instrument and the singing and the
Because we don't really know, because she doesn't have her cutie mark yet. So maybe there's more to the story
Maybe it's
that we
a bell.
haven't learned yet.
That's the story points.
My question is for Michelle. How does a 9-year-old, right up front, how does a 9-year-old end up doing what you do?
Well,
being forced to.
Go to the studio. Do it.
Perpetuating the stereotype.
Right?
It's funny funny how many people assume when they meet a child. You were a child actress.
Yes.
Your mom probably went through the same. A lot of times people assume when they see someone young doing something like that that they're being forced. So
Some
they
people
just
got
assume it.
really mad at mom. Like this one lady at a convention was like, "What are you doing to her?" Like, and I was like, "No, I want to do this. Like, it's all good. Don't worry about it." And she's like, "Oh." Okay. Well, I didn't really start with voice acting per se. I started performing at a very young age because my parents, they ran a music school called Cuban Music, and so I was singing since I could talk. Basically, I could make a noise. And yeah, it's quite sad. And so I just got into that performance, like being on stage kind of thought.
Well, you joined us for all of our big productions.
Yeah,
concerts
I
and
was on
theater
stage like
things.
when I was 2, and so when I was about 4, my dad was producing this project, and then they needed little kid voices for it, and I was a little animal in this, so that was the first voice acting thing I did. And then when I was 7, we wanted to get a voice acting agent, but then we ended up getting it from a TV agent, and then I booked my first voice acting thing through the TV agent, which was ironic, but yeah, and so I started when I was 7, and I was the voice of Lucy in Charlie Brown, and it has gone from
And Michelle's an amazing
Blossom.
nanny.
It has
I saw her nanny
Which one?
in the Gateway,
Yeah,
and she was phenomenal.
thank you.
And she's still playing Annie. It's crazy. She's just kidding. She's not.
There are, there's some clips of her, that was actually the earlier one. She did it when she was 9 at Tuts, Theatre Under the Stars. And I actually like that production better than the Gateway one. But there are some clips on her YouTube channel of some TV appearances, promo things, and songs that she sang from when she was 9 doing
This
that.
one is when I was 9, and the Theatre Under the Stars, when someone came and interviewed, and I said about, of course, 300 times.
Yeah, they're funny interviews.
Like, of course.
Under the red curly wig.
It's ridiculous. It's hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
This goes for the panel, and I guess the other voice actors with My Little Pony. Have you ever found yourselves in like maybe day-to-day, or maybe if you're around friends or not, using your character voices? Like if you wanted to like pretend to read off like a documentary, something boring, you'd use your My Little Pony voice to do that yourself around others, like for a gig or gag or whatever.
All the time. Yeah. I mean, I was saying this yesterday. I constantly watch TV and then just like repeat what comes out of the TV and kind of piss off who's ever watching TV with me, or yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like I feel like voice actors in general, we're just always experimenting with our voice and just trying stuff because we're not afraid to like just whatever. And then I have like certain default setting voices like
Stewie Griffin. I just automatically start doing. I don't know why, but it just starts to happen, and you.
So yeah, I mean it's just fun. I mean it's and I encourage you guys to do it too, right? Because it's good for you. It is. It's fun, right?
Well, not really My Little Pony voice. I like what you said. You said this when we were in Minneapolis. She said that our My Little Pony voices kind of have a specific place, and just when we come to conventions, they have their place. Like when we're at conventions, when we're talking to fans, when we're in the studio, and because it's become such a big thing, I don't really find myself doing my Apple voice. But I do, all of us, we break into voices all the time, but I just don't know if I really do Apple.
If I did Pinkie Pie, everyone would just be annoyed.
Yeah.
And if I did Fluttershy, no one would hear me.
Well, any of you guys can answer this. What would be the sheer modulus of the cupcakes described in the cupcake song?
You mean the cupcake fan fiction?
What's the answer?
I think the answer is pie.
1.1.
what do you guys think of the background, Brony, and their increased popularity? Do you think they will have their own episode? You know, like Doctor Who's, Derpy, Lila, Octavia, and Final Scratch, and Daring Do? Will they have their own episode? What do you guys think of those characters and their fact fictions, like Doctor Who's Adventures and Doctor Who's Assistant?
I think it's so incredible because when we do cartoons and we have a character like that, it just comes out as incidental pony number 1. And you just kind of throw a voice on it and you have no idea. But the animators do such a beautiful job of, and put their own jokes in. And then the fans just take it from there and have created this whole other world out of background ponies. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's so creative. I love it. So I think that the animators do like to, they're proud of their background characters, and they do like to place them in there whenever they get the chance, and who knows?
What is your opinion on like Pegasus?
Well, I don't know. Well, I think it depends on the Pegasister, because I've heard some of them say, we're not Pegasisters anymore. It's just everyone's a brony. It shouldn't be a gender-specific term. So what do you think? Yeah? No. Well, no, that's just a stereotype, I think, of people who really don't know, who haven't, you don't feel that way being here, do you?
Half of them, yeah.
You have an awesome voice, by the way. Yeah, I love it. Yeah. You're a cool girl.
To any of the voice actors, do you recall a moment where you very vehemently disagreed with the lines that you were being given within the context of the character that you've grown quite attached to?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it happens. It happens, and we may have some suggestions. Sometimes they're open to it. Sometimes they're not. A lot of times, at the least, they'll let you record an alternate line, and then you don't really know which one they're going to use, your alternate or as scripted. So it does happen. It happens to rarity a lot.
Usually for me, it's when, like, if it's a comedic series or something, and if you're like, hey, I got an idea for this line, it might be funnier or something, and yeah, sometimes they're open, and sometimes they're like, no, you will not record that. Moving on.
Do you only do voice acting or something else too?
I'm also a barber.
Are you Sweeney Todd?
That's a great question.
It is a great question. It is great, and I was being silly.
Let's go. You start. Oh, Michelle's also a kid.
I'm a kid. Well, yeah. I started with voice acting, but right now, actually, my main job is a TV show. It's a very new series. It's a CBC series. It's called Strange Empire, so go check it out. It's really cool. And
we'll be starting Monday nights in the fall. Yeah, in October.
And we started the first episode a couple weeks back, and it's really, really cool. Oh man, it's really, really cool. And CBC is kind of taking this new direction in their company. They're the ones that been talking about how it's changing. Like they're getting rid of Hockey Night in Canada, all their kind of family shows, and they're really expanding. Like they're planning to sell their new shows like worldwide. Like they're making it HBO worthy and stuff. So it's gonna be really cool. And so I'm a series regular on that show. So that's my main job now. So film and then we perform a lot and So that's my story.
Well, my other job is I'm a piano teacher. So I do voiceovers and I also teach piano.
She's very good at piano.
Thanks. And I teach voiceover. That's true. Yeah, I love doing that. So, yeah, teaching is my other gig.
I also do on camera, which I've been doing for a long time, and I'm actually going to be shooting Arrow on Friday. I have a recurring character on Arrow, so I'm coming back on the episode that shoots Friday. And then I also teach voiceover in Vancouver. Andrea teaches with me, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Voiceover is actually pretty new for me. I have been performing as a lead singer and as an entertainer for very long, since I was about 8. And even before that, I was singing, just not on a professional level. And I got into voiceover kind of coincidentally, just through talking with Tabitha St. Germain online. Yeah, she was like, oh no, we did, you know, we collaborated on something together, and then she was like, you should do voices. It's like, I've never done it. And so, yeah, she introduced me to people, and now I have agents up here, so now I'm doing that too. So yeah, it's kind of all connected, sort of.
Oh boy, I got
I used to do a lot of theater. I used to do a lot of plays and musical theater, and I choreograph as well and teach dance once in a while. But I do on camera, and tonight I'm flying to Toronto to shoot the Transporter TV series in Toronto, and it's been really hard. I've been telling some people it's been really hard to practice my lines in the morning because I've been experiencing so much love and joy over here. It's all these hugs and bro hugs. But my character is he's like Chinese mafia boss, right? So he's gonna get like all tattoos tomorrow. It's gonna be good up badass. Sorry. But it's gonna be quite a transition for me to step into character tomorrow. But it's gonna be fun.
What's your question, Theo?
How do you make it look like Rainbow Dash is actually flying?
Good question. Animation question.
There's an animator, so let's let him answer it. Yeah.
I guess. Okay, so in the particular animation that My Little Pony uses, it's called flash animation. And it's actually kind of simple in a complicated way. Yeah, get it? So what they do is they draw pictures, and then they layer them on top of each other in the computer, and they make it so that the pictures work with each other. So like every joint that a character has, say you have an arm for a character, this part of the arm is one picture, this part of the arm is one picture, and then they connect them with a layer and they move them. So when they make Rainbow Dash fly, they just switch between a bunch of pictures of different wings moving really quickly, and then they suspend the character in the air and they just go through that cycle. And it's actually automated. They do the cycle once and then they can just turn it on and have it loop throughout yeah, like this. When she flies really fast, she goes like this. So yeah, that's
Seizure Dash.
Seizure Dash.
Cracky.
One is for Andrea. Like, since you do Pinkie Pie, are you friends with the people that sort of like are attached to Pinkie Pie? Sort of like Mrs. Cake and Mrs. Carrot?
Yeah, the voice actors that do those voices. Did you know that the same person who voices Rarity does the voice of Mrs. Cake? And Princess Luna and Granny Smith and everybody?
That's called Tabitha.
Yeah, it's a very, very talented lady.
Tabitha St. Germain.
Tabitha, yeah. She's a really good friend of mine.
Hey, this is mainly addressed to Andrea, but kind of to everybody as well. What do you guys kind of think about the interaction between Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash? I know they like some characters kind of feed off each other, and Rainbow Dash is kind of the aggressive kind, and Fluttershy is kind of more the held back, and they kind of push each other at some points. And it's actually kind of funny to see their reactions and maybe even their facial expressions and so forth.
Yeah, I think that's a neat relationship. I like that too because, you know, it kind of started out with, you know, Rainbow Dash really being in charge, and then it's evolved a little bit to people respecting ponies, respecting Fluttershy, every pony, Fluttershy a little bit more. So that's a very astute observation.
Astute?
Yes.
Hello there. I've got a two-part question, I guess. The first one got partly answered already. I wondered how much sort of improvisation has wound up into the final scripts of the show. Like it.
Tabitha St. Germain. Some of the stuff that she comes, a lot of the times, especially with Granny Smith, she always has to say something like, "Oh, darn tootin' of St. Peter's and she'll, and it'll say something pretty random already in the script, but she'll take it to the next level. A lot of the time, our voice director, Terry, is like, yeah, no, we bring it down a little bit, but she comes up with the craziest, like, expression. Oh, it's so funny, so funny, so funny.
One of my good, sorry. The second part of that question is for Michelle, actually. It's just one particular moment I've always wondered about. In Pinky Apple Pie, when Apple Bloom sings Applelicious, did you just come up with that, or was that actually in the script?
Okay, wait. Well, what do you mean? Okay, well, from my point of view, I knew about the Twilightlicious several months before that, and when it came, when I read the script, I was like, that sounds so much like it'd be Twilightlicious.
But we didn't know.
We didn't know that he had
created it.
No, they gave it and animated it, yeah. And so they didn't tell me which melody they wanted, and so I did that. I made it like Applelicious, but they didn't write it like that, and I changed it a tiny bit, but they didn't notice. I know.
Kind of like, what are the odds
No one
that...
figured it out, and I'm sure like probably some animators would be like, "Oh no, she didn't. Oh, did
and the crazy thing is, the odds that we would end up working together, like on a consistent basis, and then of course the episode comes out after it's already well known that Michelle and I are working together, everyone is going to assume, oh yeah, she did that because he just worked with Black Griffin and got put that in the show. It was totally coincidental.
And most people don't realize there's a year.
We made a video about it.
Yeah. Most people don't realize that it takes a whole year around that amount of time to turn it around from when the episodes are recorded to when you see them come out. So it might feel like she started working with Black Griffin and then suddenly she's paying homage to him in that episode. And it doesn't work that way, you know? Yes, we didn't even know he'd done it at the time.
Thank you.
So my question is that if all of you weren't performing, what would you be doing with yourselves? What are you passionate about? Where are we
I'd be an engineer, and then I would just be miserable. I'm so glad I'm not using my degree.
Okay, Mom, can you tell them what I wanted to be when I was a child?
The candy store owner? Yeah. Well, it fluctuated. There was
a great idea. It's a great idea, guys.
There was the postman. That was the first one. I think you're two, mailman. And then she switched it to a candy store owner, and her concept was that she would, in the inventory, she'd have two of every item, one to try herself and the other to sell to her customers.
I don't think you'd stay that thin for very long.
And then she decided she'd be the Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh, yeah.
That's the truth. Yep, yeah. And then lately she's been saying she's going to be a voice actress or something.
That's weird.
Actor,
Those
singer.
ambitions are ridiculous.
I know. I told her it's not a real job, but she won't believe it.
I would say for me, like I played tennis for a long time in my life, and I had a scholarship down to the States, and I was a tennis pro for a while, and so I would probably do that. I would say I would probably do that.
I would probably be in marine biology if I didn't stay in the Navy, and I don't know, this voice acting thing, I was never a plan of mine until the last year, so I still don't know what I'm really going to end up doing, but this is going really well, so I just want to do this, right?
I think I would be like a teacher or something like that. But what I would really love to do, but I don't think I have the skill sets for it, is to be a Disney Imagineer. To like design a cool ride in Disneyland, or just like be in Disneyland all the time, just to walk around and be like, you're doing a good job.
You're one of the few people I've ever met who knows that they call Disney engineers Imagineers.
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah. Oh, first of all, I worked at the Disney store in Metrotown in Vancouver, or in Burnaby, and I think we used to wear turquoise cardigans.
I like how you just turquoise cardigans.
And we were called cast members, and then when you took your break, they'd be like, "Hey Vincent, you can go on your intermission now." Thank you. So and we wouldn't go to the back room; we would go backstage. It was all a show. Yeah, it was all a show.
Oh, that's awesome. Love it.
There you go.
So awesome.
All right, this is a question for everyone, including Black Griffin. And I was just wondering, if you would ever voice a background pony, and if you anyone, what would they be and what would they sound like?
I think I would want to be King Julian from Madagascar. I think King Julian should definitely make an appearance in the show. So, yes. Whoa, 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 whoa! This is first class. It's nothing personal. It's just that we are better than you, okay?
Goodness. I probably wouldn't be able to choose what I would be, just because, you know, the voice actors don't write the script. But if I could choose, I would want to be some kind of ridiculous, goofy character.
And I really want to use this voice because I think it's fun. It's just kind of a new one that I'm doing, so.
I always wanted to play like an inanimate plant. Like a seed.
How would that sound?
Flower.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, that happened. It sounded like this.
Nice.
And then it was in the credits. Andrew Lippman as Seedling.
Did you get paid extra for that?
No. No, but I got paid in honor.
In honor.
Pride.
Nice. That's way more valuable. Oh, I actually auditioned for Trenderhoof. Is that right? Is that right?
What's that? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that our?
That's a
See, I haven't watched the show in a long time. I watched the first and second season. Like I watched the entire first and second season, but after that, I kind of like drifted off. So I'm curious. I'm curious now.
The voice. It was a really, because I think he was like supposed to be some sort of hipster kind of guy, and he was like, yo, like really, I don't know, he was really snobby. I think it was Doran.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I know what it was then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought
he was great.
And I thought I did a good job, but whatever.
What was your turn voice gonna be like?
You know what? I forget. I think it was like, what kind of lines did he have? What did he say? Do you remember? The simple. You know what? I can't even try to replicate it because I have no idea. But apparently, it was pretty bad, so I didn't get the job.
And I'd like to be the voice of a crocodile on My Little Pony.
Gummy?
My Little Crocodile.
I want to be Gummy.
There is a.
Gummy.
Yeah, Pinkie Pie's pet.
Yeah.
Got
An
it. You know
alligator. Would that suffice?
That would.
And the voice would be like this.
No.
Don't turn me into luggage.
But you have no teeth.
Please.
You have no teeth.
Don't hurt me.
I'll think about it.
I'm gonna come gum you to death. I got new dentures and it feels a lot better.
Oh, Gummy.
Considering you guys are in a creative career and involved in a very creative fandom, my question is, what do you think creativity is? Something that is discovered and harnessed, or something that where you start from nothing and you go from there?
Is this an SAT? Essay question?
I'll say B.
B.
Is B the answer?
Is this multiple choice?
No, it's a very good question.
Creativity. I think it comes from, it's an inspiration. It's whatever I think, for me, because I used to draw, and I'm a terrible drawer, but I'm such a Disney nut, and I used to draw like Disney characters, and like my first Mickey Mouse really stunk, and then I was like, I'm gonna draw Goofy, and it started to get better and better, and then it just sort of, once you start something and you really put your mind to it, even though you kind of stink at it, you just keep trying and trying until you practice and you get better. And I feel like that sense of accomplishment is sort of a spark for your creativity to continue. Because everybody, I think, when you feel that sense of accomplishment, no matter what it is, that's why I think people should not set you can set crazy big goals for yourself, of course, but we should also set on a daily basis, set just like simple tasks for yourself. You know, if it's working out, be like, I'm gonna do 2 push-ups today. Boom, I did it. And then you can pat yourself, literally pat yourself on the back and go like, I did it. You will be surprised at the change of chemistry in your mind. It's gonna be different because you've just accomplished something. Or is it, I'm gonna recycle all my stuff today, or I'm gonna clean up this desk today, whatever it is. And then I think that will inspire you and be like, boom, I finished it. I accomplished something. And accomplishment is it's a powerful, powerful thing. And it doesn't need to be anything epic in your life. I think you just have to set small goals for yourself. And when you feel that accomplishment, you're gonna feel that you can conquer even more things after that. So I think that's great.
I totally agree with everything you said. I think everybody innately has some form of creativity. And I think the worst thing you can do for yourself is get discouraged or not try something because you're worried that you'll fail. Commitment and just try stuff, you know, and keep doing it and stick to it. If you want to do something, it's not going to work out the first time. Odds are, but just keep doing it. Even if it's difficult, the rewards are so worth it. Yeah, so that's what I think. Yeah, commitment, very important.
I believe that creativity does not come from your mind. I don't think you can think creativity. I think it just comes to you. If you're a musician or a dancer or an actor or doing a voice, I think it just kind of comes out of your soul. You know what I mean? That's where I think it comes from. And then, you know, you can do whatever you do comes out of you, whether it's playing a guitar or singing or piano or acting or voice. And then you start to shape that once it comes out of you. Do you guys know what I mean? Because I think if you think about it, it's almost too late because it's not really coming from your heart and soul. You know, you thought about it.
But
creativity comes from the devil, and you gotta watch out for creativity.
But there are some people that have to overcome obstacles that have been placed there, often not by themselves, but sometimes by teachers or family members or friends who have discouraged them or told them that they are not able to do this or not good enough to do this. And I really encourage you, as someone who's been teaching for a very long time, I encourage you that if you have voices like that in your life and they're preventing you from pursuing a goal that was really important to you, those voices, you need to move beyond them. So if you are, if you're taking lessons from someone or you have a teacher at school, so someone that's discouraging you, don't listen to those voices. Move on and find people who are going to help you to get past those obstacles. Because sometimes, I agree that the creativity does come from within, but sometimes it's been suppressed by things. So even if you don't necessarily feel like it's coming out, there are ways to move past that and get yourself into positive environments where you can remove those barriers.
And like being a short Chinese guy, there was never anyone when I was growing up to be like, hey, you should totally, man, you should be an actor. You should totally be, there's tons of work for you out there. No, it's so difficult. I'm sorry, I mean, like, I don't want to be, stereotyping, but it's been a hard road for me, being an actor the way I look, because I cannot be considered for the ingenue male character. I can't be the Brad Pitt part because of these producers having a vision of what a good-looking male lead should look like. So it's up to me to showcase what I have, and it's something special and something unique that nobody else can touch. So, and you have to embrace that and go forth with it because that's all you have. And that's why I love this fandom so much, because you guys are like dyeing your hair, putting on costumes, dressing up, doing everything you want that's creative to yourself. Tony with his cool hair, eating his sandwich over there. You guys are just like representing, you know what I'm saying? So like, I just want to say, I don't know, I'm like totally off topic, but I love all this thing. Yeah, I do get excited about this stuff because it's about ownership, about who you are, and loving yourself, and not being ashamed of who it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love you guys.
You guys you're surrounding yourself with people that love you here, right? And that's what you need to do. Surround yourself with people that love you out there in the world too. Because that's who you want to respond to. Those are the people that will give you the best energy. If someone's not sending you love, then get away from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
encourage each other and rise.
Ascend.
Trendset.
And I think we'll move on to the next question from the guys.
All right. We're getting too a little too. Okay, believe in yourself. You got to believe. I said, amen.
Preach. Okay, hold it. Hi, my question is for Michelle. And just wondering, what is your relationship like with the other voice actors that voice the CMC?
Well, I have known Claire since before My Little Pony, so I've known her for about 7 years maybe, and she's a very good friend of mine.
A whole half of your life.
Yes, quite so. And I've done other projects with her, and you know, she's been on my birthdays and stuff. We're close friends outside of My Little Pony, and I'm also good friends with Maddie too. I haven't. Oh no, that's not true. I've worked with her on other projects, and yeah. So you know, especially because we've been going to conventions for so long, we've developed a good friendship, and so it's really fun to have a solid episode with, you know, the 3 main characters of CMCs. It's really fun. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, how often when you're in recording studio, a whole bunch of people, and things just get really, really silly, and you can't record anything because everyone's laughing too much?
Never happens. It really never happens.
I've gotten really good at just stifling. Like, I think we're all really good at laughing and being amused, but doing it quietly too. Like, we're just like, yeah. But you just can't, because there are times where you can break down and be silly, but there's, I mean, 99.9% of the time you have to be professional and do your job. So it definitely does happen, but there's kind of a time and a place, and we know when there is breaks and we're in between recording something. But during someone's line, and everyone's always respectful. You just have to.
But, you mean after we have to have it as cookies, though, then you know, things start to get crazy. Claire starts to scream. You know, Peter starts to throw paper airplanes. It just, you know,
disintegrates.
Yeah.
It is kind of fun though. Like I've been in a situation where I've had to do my own lines, and I've just had uncontrollable laughter, and I literally can't stop laughing. And they're like rolling, and I try to do the line, and I keep laughing. And they're like, okay, laugh it off, ha ha. And then they're like rolling again, and then I just keep laughing, and then other people start laughing, and that's just I don't know, that's a beautiful feeling, because it's just, you know, I'm not meaning to like ruin the next few minutes of time for everyone, but it's just you're having so much fun, and you're just letting it out, and I don't know, it can be a lot of fun.
Okay.
This is for Michelle Creamer. Could you sing the Hush Now, Quiet Now?
Okay.
You want me to start?
Yeah,
yes.
Let's do the whole thing.
Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your sleepy head. Hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed. I know this one!
Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your sleepy head. Said hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed. You've done something sad, but there's a day behind you. I'm just sleep with a dream life behind you. Hush now, quiet now, lay your sleepy head. Said hush now, quiet now, it's time to go to bed. Yeah. Sleep tape behind you.
Who does Rarity, and why did you make make the dresses and everything? Couldn't you just make some else?
So you're asking why does Rarity make dresses?
Yeah.
Because that's what she loves to do. You know, just like some people love, oh no, that's not the question? Okay, I'm sorry. Whoa, okay.
Why did whoever did it made Rarity to make the dresses or
I have to say that was the best question ever. You're amazing. Let's give him a round of applause. That was amazing. See, we love you. That's what we're doing there. Sending you some love.
So can I think the question you're asking about who did Rarity, so the people who write the show decide what the characters do, right? And Lauren Faust is the one who came up with the idea for all these characters. And she decided that she wanted Rarity to be a dress designer. And then she went looking for the person to voice the character that she had in her head, which was Rarity. And the person who voices Rarity is Tabitha St. Germain. And so that's kind of her decision. It's like when you're playing, you know, and you have a bunch of toys and you decide which character does what. That's like writing a show. That's actually what you're doing. In fact, Lauren Faust, she used to play with ponies when she was a kid. And she created a lot of her ideas for this show just from playing with ponies as a kid. So she decided, I guess a while back, possibly, that Rarity would be a fashion, you know, person and would love to design dresses. And so that's how she decided what she wanted Rarity to do. So yeah, I mean, you do that kind of stuff every day. I do that kind of stuff every day. So yeah, that's what I think you're asking, right? Awesome. That's a great question.
Hey, I was wondering, in what season are we going to see this moose you guys keep referencing?
That's another Tabitha St. Germain thing.
Season 15.
They had a moose, didn't they? You has a chocolate moose.
Oh, that's true.
Tabitha came up with that at the very first pony convention, which was Everfree Northwest in 2012, I think. Oh yeah, there was a BronyExpo before that, that's right. So, and somebody asked a question that none of the voice actors could answer because it was confidential, and everybody got really quiet trying to decide how to answer it, and she just went, "Look, a moose," and that's where that came from.
And that's how the world began.
Yeah, you can actually see it on Everfree Network's YouTube channel. You can see the panel that happened.
Okay, can I propose that we sing Winter Wrap Up? Because it's like the best song ever. I know we probably already sang it like 20 times. It's a good song.
I do. Alright, it starts out
3 months of winter coolness and awesome holidays. We kept our cookies wonderful, time off from work to play. But the food we've stored is running out, and we can't grow in this cold. And even though I love my boots, this fashion's getting old.
The time has come to
spring. It's also time to say goodbye.
Winter we must sing. There's still a long time. I have a good memory, but sometimes it fails. Winter wrap up, let's do the holidays. Winter wrap up, cause tomorrow spring is here. Winter wrap up, cause tomorrow spring is here. Cause tomorrow spring is here.
Winter wrap up.
That was a great idea.
Okay, so let's continue on the musical mood here. Black Griffin.
Okay. Yes.
What would you write over
Hey!
here?
Sorry.
Black Griffin, I
Yes.
was just wondering, do you have any advice for a person like me, like when getting into like music? Like I have a guitar and amp at home,
Awesome.
and I'm quite computer savvy. I think I
Heck
can,
yes. Oh my gosh, you have two of the essentials. Perfect. Yeah.
So, what do I need to like get started at making music?
What you have, all you need is the motivation and the inspiration. Start, I mean, if you can't think of a song to write, cover something. Oh my gosh, I've done so many covers. And even some of my most popular videos are covers of pre-existing songs because people appreciate that. You know, do you have a, you want to sing too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have some original songs as well.
Excellent. Perfect. So then you totally got started. So what I would suggest then, I guess, is you have you're computer savvy, you have a guitar and amp, get a good mic. I recommend the Audio Technica AT2020 USB. It's a very cheap cardioid condenser. Very nice mic. Yes, I'm being endorsed. So yeah, and just record your songs, and the more you do it, because there's all kinds of little tricks that you learn along the way, like how to properly EQ and compress, and you're always learning, you know. But if you have something catchy, even if it's not like my older songs, I think the quality's really bad on them as far as mastering goes. But you know, as long as people like them, then it's gonna do well.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
We have time for one more question.
Last question.
Last question.
Is that the question?
Can I ask a question? Okay, yes you can.
Black Griffin.
Yes.
How much songs have you sang? Have you written?
How much songs have I written? I think probably close to 50.
Wow.
And only. Oh goodness. Yes. Thank you. I would say probably about 10 of those are known at all. That have over 100,000 views. The rest of them just kind of fade into obscurity. But it's all experimenting, you know? And I'm constantly writing songs, and some of them never even go online. It's just what I like to do, you know? So, thank you. That's a great question.
With that, guys, we're going to end the panel here. Just to let you know that everyone is going to be available in the autograph room if you haven't already gotten them. Anyone that wants Vincent's autograph will put at the head of the line, because he does have to leave for his flight really, really soon. So if you do want his autograph, let us know. We'll put you at the front of the line to get his. But thank you very much for coming out, and closing ceremony is here.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, I think there's some. My buddy had one of these. Ryan has it. Is it around 5 or 75? Yep.